Steve Robbins here. Welcome to the Get It Done Guy's quick and dirty tips to work less and do more. Listener Richard, an incoming college freshman who follows Get It Done Guy on Twitter, knew I just returned from a 10-day retreat. He wrote, "Stever, did you do a write-up about your trip? If so, I'd love to read it." Richard, this one's for you. Today's topic is doing your homework. Yes, I just got back from a glorious 10-day body-mind retreat. My best friend from college invited me a year ago. "It'll be wonderful," he said. "We'll lose weight, get exercise, and spend time together, all in a beautiful retreat center." I zipped over to the website and looked at the pictures. They were lovely. The daily schedule had aerobics, health classes, saunas, my favorite, and swimming. Wow! I signed up early to get the discount. I was proud of my advanced planning. Time passed. The big day arrived. As the bus pulled into the Zen Center, I was floored. It was more beautiful than I could ever have imagined. Peacocks strolled by. At dawn, sunlight glittered off dewdrops collected on lotus petals, turning them into jeweled rainbows of light. Chipmunks played games of chase. After our wood-fired saunas, we slipped into a spring-fed pool under the full moon, and fireflies danced around our heads. It was magical. The next day, we learned that we would be eating a healthy diet with lots of homegrown veggies, doing yoga, squeezing our own vegetable juice, hiking through beautiful canyons, giving ourselves daily enemas, rebounding... Excuse me? What was that? Daily what? Suddenly, I started listening to what they were saying. The freshly juiced vegetable was wheatgrass, which is really, really yummy if you're a cow. And the all-veggie diet? Raw veggies. Bland greens like celery, lettuce, and seaweed, blended in a blender until the pieces are so small your digestive system doesn't have to work at all to absorb the nutrients. They call it energy soup. I call it nature's version of industrial runoff. This was not a retreat. Much to my horror, I discovered this was a cleanse. The next 10 days were an experience. In the most beautiful setting imagined by human consciousness, I learned to make peace with my body in a way I've just never done before. Of course, it was easy, since a calorie-deficient diet of nothing but parsley leaves you so weak and disoriented, you'd make peace with a saber-toothed tiger if you thought he'd give you chocolate afterwards. In my few lucid moments, I kept asking where I went wrong. The answer? I didn't do my homework. Don't make my mistake. The astute listener will recall an episode where I suggested some decisions are best made by coin flip. That's when the decision cost is more than what you're deciding about. For me, decisions about what goes into, out of, around, or through my body are worth the research cost. My body's worth the effort, especially if the decision is permanent, and especially if the involved body part will sag, stretch, or fade after a decade or two. Next time you're planning a decision with long-term or highly risky consequences, do your homework. First, talk to people who have the experience, first-hand experience. My college friend had never been to this retreat before. Also get several opinions. Spend some time on the web looking for reviews, both good and bad reviews. Plan your questions in advance. If you think you're going to Club Med, ask about the experiences you expect from a fantastic vacation. For me, it's the food, exercise options, beauty of the surroundings, and flexibility of schedule. Make a little list and research each category for each option. Dig deep when you ask. Don't just say, "Gee, tell me about the retreat." They'll tell you their top-of-mind impressions, and if they love cleansing, or if they're a sociopathic masochist, they'll give you a glowing report. Ask about specifics. What do you love about it? The food. Too vague. You're looking for answers you can imagine concretely. So, dig deeper. I love food. What was a typical meal? If their answer contains words like rejuvenac, start inching towards the exit and don't make any sudden movements. If there's any possibility you don't know a word they're using, ask. Don't fake it. I thought a colonic was a bubbly soft drink you ordered at a soda counter. No, that's a tonic. And living foods diet does not mean gourmet vegetarian cuisine, and cleansing has nothing to do with washing behind your ears. Oh no, certainly not I. Make sure to ask about positives and negatives to get a well-rounded picture. What was your least favorite part? They didn't give me enough recipes. Recipes? Yes, for continuing the diet. After all, once you've detoxed, your body stops being able to digest meat, fat, sugar, caffeine, ice cream, potato chips, or anything else that provides life even a modicum of pleasure, so you have to eat this way for the rest of your life. Useful information to have before you buy that ticket. Remember, you're after facts and details and don't really care if those were things they loved or things they didn't. That's because tastes differ. Once you've thoroughly done your homework, then make your decision. And if it turns out to not be what you expected, hey, you did your best. Now it's a learning experience. And for all my horror at the cuisine, I came back from the retreat with my skin positively glowing. My energy's been up and I've needed far less sleep. My mind's rested too. The Retreat Zen Center really was the most beautiful place I've ever been. And thanks to the yoga, I can now touch my toes. And if they ever offer a plain old vacation retreat, I'll be there in an instant. But first, I'll do my homework. I'll read reviews, talk to multiple people who have direct first-hand experience. My questions will cover both the good and the bad, and I'll be listening more for the facts than for whether my peeps liked or disliked any particular part of the experience. After all, they say tomato, I say, haha, not on my plate, you don't. This is Steve Robbins. You can find this episode's transcripts at getitdone.quickanddirtytips.com. Work less, do more, and have a great life.